Hey there, welcome to Area 51 Raceway. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm just here and just want to talk about Revo Slot Tuning. I don't know if anybody is new to it. There's some things that I have discovered as I've been looking online and through this little catalog, and then I went to Pendle Slot and looked on there. So it's just different things, and I've been asking questions just to verify some things for myself, and but I'm glad if you're here with me, and if you joined in the chat here, cool. Right now, excuse me, right now it's almost noon here, 1 minute till noon, and I'm just hanging out, just seeing how everybody is, and just figured, why not have a small chat about, slot cars, as always. What else is new? What else do I chat about? I mean, it's just one of the things that that I do. Just talking about slot cars. So I know my camera is not as the greatest as far as resolution right now, because it seems like the the interwebs is pretty busy during the day, and sometimes the lines get clogged up. So if I don't look that great and pixelate it, and sorry about that. I do have a real nice camera, but the only problem with that is that it seems to be, since the internet's slow, it seems to be stuttering. So, but just wanted to let you guys know that. Morning, Pistol Pete. Morning, Dave. So, let me see if I switch to the other camera, if it's going to come in without moving, like stuttering, because it's been doing that all morning. I'm figuring it's just the web just being difficult. So let me get off this cam here. There's a track. And morning, Gary. How you doing? So hopefully this is, I don't know how this is going to move, because it's moving like it's frame stuttering. I think just the way everything is. So we'll try in this way, see if that helps, and go from there. So what I have here is the GT1 Porsche. That's this body right here. This is the last car that I'm tuning in my huge fleet that I've acquired. I got a case basically all filled up. This is the last car to fill the last slot, and I have more on the way. And I've been really getting into these cars. I've been learning a lot of things about them on my own as I tune them. The one thing I do really stress that I like, and you've seen the tuning video that I've done for the Corvette, I do stress these bushing, or these washers as they call them. They're silicone washers. These things, if it will focus, because everything is so slow right now, the way everything's moving. Let me see if it'll focus. Come on. Oh, let me see. Try that again. Alright. Come on, darn thing. It's hard to get these cameras to pay attention to what you want to do. And it's still not doing it. Man, this is terrible. Anyways. Oh, it's kind of coming through. Anyways. These right here, there you go, that's a little better. So these right here are the silicone washers from, Scale Racing. And they work really well. They're 0.5 millimeters. And I use these on these cars specifically, and I know some people may not. I know I would use Gorilla Tape in the beginning, because Scott Culp did a video which was real good too on the Viper. So I started going with this because I like to improve the performance and isolate the noise of the top pan hitting the bottom of the chassis. That's just my preference. You don't have to do this. You use Gorilla Tape or don't use them at all. It's totally up to you. But I highly recommend them. I like them. I've done them on all my cars. And I usually place them right here on these spots right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now this particular car, I hope you can see that. Let me see if I can pick it up. This particular car right here is the GT1, and it has an extra 2 holes here. Excuse me, right here. Hold on a second. Where am I going here? Right here, sorry. So there's 2 holes here, extra 2 holes. So what that means is that, see these extra 2 holes too in the front of the chassis as I drop it? Right here. Those are the rattle nuts. So you have 6 positions to put them: in the back, here, and here in the front. Now on some cars this benefits from moving the rattle nuts from here when they come with the car to move them to the front here. And hello Jeff G, how you doing? My take on that is that for a longer car or different cars, it seems to improve the handling. And the one thing I did notice is that it brings the front axle down more. And depending how tight you go on these nuts, because usually they come tight and they move a little, but how this, I loosen them up in the back one full turn like I did in the Corvette, tune. And on some of these cars, you have to do that to kind of get more contact on the front wheels because the front wheels sit in the air. And that was the case with this Ferrari F40 that I have here. This car, they were just sitting up in the air. And I could have went probably to the thinner braid, but I didn't think it was, that much of an effect on it. But I did move the rattle nuts to down here. See the original position they were at? Now I put them here. And this brought the axle down, in my opinion, more as I have this a little bit looser, because this plate articulates right here, as you can see. And the car's course, can't even talk. Course when the car is moving, I look for the front wheels to be moving as well when I stop on the track and see them, contacting and then stop. On one car, the GT1, the Toyota, that one right there seems to run. How would you say, it has the point where I like where it's contacting, because when the car stops, the wheels keep spinning, and I like that. That's what I like in my slot cars. If I can get all of them to do it, but sometimes you can't. If you get a little movement, that's fine. I think it's important to have the front wheels contacting because they're the outriggers as you go around the corner. But I just wanted to throw that out there. There are two different spots on some of these chassis. I do recommend going to the Revo Slot website. How you doing, John Tucci? And looking at the downloads, and you're going to see the parts breakdown and everything like you do when you get in the book. So if you don't have a book, then you could go to the website and it'll tell you all this stuff. And it's really interesting, some of these things they've, posted for these cars. And we could go through the catalog on the computer. And then, of course, I've been just messing with trying different tires, which the only tire I really tried on the Corvette was the G25 tires. These are extra wide ones you could get. And then there's the standard, I guess, width, which I'm not sure what they are. I think they're 11 or maybe 10.5, but I haven't really measurement, so I don't have an answer for that. But it's what comes with, the stock wheel. And then I have some Shore 15s, which are even softer. So I kind of just wanting to try different things out with the cars and see how they do. What the heck. My track is different from everybody else's, of course, because you tune for your track. If you have a plastic track, cars will react differently with tires than they would on a wood one. Depending, how you drive, you notice the tires start shredding more and on, the area where it's accelerating. I know on the Corvettes, on the later Corvettes that we've gotten, they started to shred this tire a lot, and with the Short 30 tire, and I can show you that. Here is a Short 30 tire, and you can see, if hopefully it could focus, you can see how torn up that is. And it's not really, let me move the light over here. Not really, I don't really like that in particular. And it didn't do that with the earlier Corvettes. Those are smooth. So I went to the G25 tire and it proved it without tearing it up. And the car handles better. So it's all up to you how you set it up and stuff. Another thing I'm going to go over is the brass nuts. Now, I went to Pendle Slot, and they do have, in the book, it says they have, I'll show you, the nut sizes available. So on the back here, it says they have 1.0, 2.0, 2.5, and 3.0, which, massive amount of float, depending what you want to do. Now, they do have at Pendle Slot, I saw them, a 1.5 millimeter. So I went ahead and ordered those because I thought 1.5, where stock is 2.0, and between 1.0 is, 0 float. So I wanted to try the 1.5, so I'm just curious. I always back the screw one full turn out because I have the bushing in between the top plate and the chassis, and I do want to allow some movement. If you have too much movement on certain cars, they tend to kind of like be a little bit more tail happy, whereas you tighten them up, they get a little bit better. So when you're tuning these cars, the only drawback is that I use super glue, which I want to get Loctite instead. And if I Loctite them, commit to them, then I have to, kind of work them out, work them in because there's glue in there, and then start over again. But it's kind of hard to keep the screw in there as you're driving the car around because you don't want to lose the screw on the track. So really just make sure you're certain on setting your float. I'm trying to see if I could find these screws, but longer. I did order a screw set from Pendle as well. They have like a whole set for all these screws, you know, the motor and all that, and where everything mounts and stuff. So these little screws, I'm trying to see if I could find these somehow. I'm gonna experiment and see if I can find the size and find some ones longer so that they stick out of this nut top, the top of the nut, and this way I could kind of not worry about it coming out loose. Because when I put these all the way in and I go out a full turn out, they're only in probably like 2 threads. And what happens is if you're driving it without glue in it, they will come out, you know, after a few laps or maybe even sooner, because I've had that happen. But again, this is my take on tuning it. You could go to others who have tuned them differently. There's other guys that for racing, you know, on the track for competition, they put like spacers underneath these blocks, so this way it tucks the wheels up more into the car. That's one trick they use to, you know, get the car to handle better. Of course, though, when you do that, I don't know how far this lifts the motor, you know, the position of where the gear is in relation to, you know, the ring gear to the pinion. So I have to kind of read into that more. But there's a lot of tricks out there. But for me, for home, I'm not really taking these to race or, you know, doing proxy races with this. I'm just here to have fun and make sure I put them on the track and they handle great. That's basically what my videos really focus on. It's for you to tune it, and then you're able to put it on the track and they go, and you're happy with the way they drive. That's the whole key, is the happiness of the enjoyment you're getting out of the car or how it rides on your track, instead of sticking it on there and then it doesn't cooperate and then you just get frustrated and throw it in the box and like, screw it. So this is why I do these videos, especially for like the poly cars. But poly cars are really like a type of car that a lot of people just throw in the box and put it on the shelf because it looks pretty, but it doesn't drive with a crap. But you have to take the time to tune them. Now for the guide, these are great guides, these deep wood guides, or this is the standard one actually, but they make a deep wood guide. Now the only difference between the Slot Invasion is that the thickness of the guide. So we're talking about how thick they are. As you can see how thin this one, how thick this is. Now this is going to create, the stock one's going to create more movement. Say this is the slot as you're going down the track or going down the turn. Or to me, this is more stable because it doesn't move around as much. And I just like these guides. They're great. I think they're excellent. The length on them are cool. They're a little bit longer. I like how they work on these cars. I do have some stock deep wood guides on some of these Revo Slot cars, which I haven't changed, and then some that I have changed. I think I like them a lot. And Oscar Slot Invasion has a ton of these. So I mean, if you order them, you can go to this website and they're all available there. And these are also great for scratch building, because the reason why is that you could use a guide tongue, and there's a lot of distance between this bulkhead and the center post. And on those guide tongues, it gives you you know, the ability to rotate nice. Whereas the other ones are too close to the bulkhead, and then that tongue will not fit on there. And I've done a video on these where you can make a post and make yourself a, you know, a guide for your scratch build car with these guides in particular, or a guide holder, you know, or guide plate, guide whatever, you know what I'm talking about. but just that's just the benefit of these guides, and that's why I like them. It's just my preference. But you don't have to use them. You could use the wood one, which is a deeper one, or if you don't require a deeper one, like, you know, you're using a scale electric track or something else, then you can use the standard guide. Now, as far as the wires, when they go in, a lot of people do like the little ferrules. So that's these little guys, the little ferrules. And I'm sorry the camera's so stuttery. It's just the time of the day, I guess. You could use those, or you could do what I do with these, which is hey Chris, how you doing? Cool, I'm glad you ordered some. Which is drilling a hole and using little M2 grub screws, and that's what they do with all these cars. I'll show you what, you know, on some of them, not all of them. Some of them I've used the ferrules, which you can, but I usually prefer to drill a hole into the bulkhead here, and then I use an M2 tap, This is a 0.9 drill bit because it's small, and the video shows that what sizes they are in the Corvette tuning video I did. And I just make some threads in here and clean it up, and then what I do is I tin these, and then I crush them with some flat pliers to make them flat, and I cut them to length because you don't want them sticking out far like that to where it's going to come out the bottom because you're going to have an issue. So you just want it like the length of what the height of the bulkhead is. So for example, say you smashed it and you put it down that far. Obviously you don't want that wire exposed, but like that. I hope you could see that. The damn camera's being weird today. And then I have my braid in there, and then I use that and I squeeze it, and they're really a solid connection. They won't come out. It's pretty solid. So that's why you have an impact or something like that. They don't pop out as easy. Not that the ferrules really do it. So this is, I'll show you another car that have ferrules on it. The ferrules are really tight. So if you use, here's another thing. If you use braid, say for example you want to use a slot car corner braid, which is a good braid, and then they make a copper one. Now I have on the other video have showed you the thicknesses of these. This one being the thickest, I believe, the copper one, and then this one being a little bit thinner. And then the thinnest that you could get, which I think works good, is the slotted one. This stuff is super thin. I like this one better because it fits in there a little easy in that guide. So this way when you're trying to put the ferrule in, you have more room, and they hold on there fine, and you can use the ferrule, or you could use the set screw method, whatever is easier. But this stuff is fairly, really thin, and it's great because you can, if you're having trouble still lowering the front axle, this will bring it down more because it's the thinnest one you could, braid you could get, and it works great. It does fine. So that's kind of covering that part on the braid. Now as far as the rest of the car, you could place weight wherever you want to, and you have to play with that on your track. Okay, Chris, you're watching Grandkids. I know how that is. Welcome, by the way. So for example, this is from Amazon. This is that pickleball tape, and that's also on the Corvette video. And I've used this for the Corvette. And I mean, you could, what's nice about this is it's super thin, and focus here. It's super thin, and you could layer it. So if you don't have any room on the top of the car, say for example like on NSRs or some car, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'll pull a car out here to the shelf. Since there's no room on top of the NSR car, so I put them on the bottom. And this is what's really nice about it. And then you could tune it that way. And then this is super, thin, that it's not going to hit the bottom of your track when you have something thicker. And it looks nice, and it looks pretty much hidden until you turn the car over. So this is the stuff that I use, that I preferably use. You don't have to use it. It's totally up to you if you do or not. It's just a matter of preference. All this is a matter of preference on what I do for myself. You guys could take it a different way, and if you have a better idea, great. That's good. Share it with everybody. But I do like this tape, this lead tape, because you can layer it, and it's super thin, and it's not bulky, and you could hide it. And when you layer these, you do get weight, so you could weigh these if you wanted to also. But that's a good weight tape. Excuse me, guys. Another thing I do also is obviously remove the spring. And I don't use, if you wanted to, I don't use the guide screw. I know the Slot Invasion ones come with a screw. If you want to use this, you can. I just don't. I just hold on to them. And that's, again, a preference. As far as your front tires go, I know some people say they don't true them. Honestly, I think they need to be trued. It's real important because these things are hard tires, and they're easy to true with the Mid-America truer or CG truer or any type of truer. They true pretty quick. In about 5 to 6 minutes, these are trued, depending how bad they are. And they will go down in diameter, so you got to remember to measure with a caliper and make sure you get the wheel, each one, the same diameter. And try not to go too crazy, but they will true down really easily, and that'll help you as well. Now, as far as the rear wheels go, or the rear tires, I don't really true these. These are 30 short tires. On some cars, what I've noticed is that 30 short tires are, in a way, good on some cars, and then they're not great on some cars. I know on the Porsches, they do okay, like this Porsche GT1. they seem fine. And then the Ferrari F40, I actually changed these to G25, I think, on these ones, but that could be the short 30s. I can't remember. But they do tend to tear up, like I showed you earlier. If they do, you could, depending on your track, you could try the G25 tire, which is a good one. Then they also make an F22 tire. Revo Slot makes, and then they make a short 15, which is super soft tire, but I don't know how long that would last. Depending on the type of track you have and the texture, if you have a scale auto track or a polycar track or a Carrera track, which does have a little bit of roughness to it, or if you have a scale electric, which is super smooth, it just depends what you're on, or a wood surface. So it's totally up to you. You just have to experiment. I find that the G25 tire for the Corvettes work good, and for the, which other car did I put on? I think just the Corvette for now. I've done them on. I haven't done on any other cars, but again, you have to experiment and take the time to take a look at these cars and do a few things, and always lube them. So there's another thing I do also, which if these bearings come out easy, because sometimes they don't, I'll leave them. As long as I put the axle in and they pretty much, how would you say, free spin nicely. For example, this is being stubborn. So if they free flow nicely, they spin nicely, then you're okay. Make sure you oil them. But there's a tool that I know that Scale Auto makes, or it's also 132. It's this one. This is a 6mm rod, and what you do is you use this to kind of check the alignment of these pillars. And I've only found 2 cars to where they weren't really aligned well or really rough. And then after I loosened these and put these in, I got it lined up and tightened them up. Now, if you can't get these bearings out, then don't worry about it too much, because sometimes it can be a real pain in the ass, and you don't want to screw anything up. You would have to take this off and then see if you could press them out. Some of them can be really hard to get out, and some of them just fall right out. So just be careful with that. On this car, I think it's fine. On this one right here, they fall out. I already checked it, and you just basically put the bar through there, and just make sure they slide nice and back and forth. You could get these from Amazon too. You don't have to buy them from, one Stock Car 132 US or Pendle Slot. These are from Amazon. I have a link on the other video I did with the Corvette talking about these. So if you're interested, you can do that. You don't have to. It's up to you. It's just an extra step. I just do that. A lot of people that do a lot of racing will check that, but it's just an option. Again, these are all options that I'm just showing that you could think about doing. Now, I've tuned so many of these cars because now I have a total of, let's see, quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So about 32 cars now, and I have 4 more on the way. So now I need another case. So they get addicting. They're really worth it. They're really balanced nice. I like them. Another thing here is, we're going to talk about, is the gear mesh. So on the gear mesh, you want to be really certain that you have a good, nice lash. Now, people will use a piece of paper. I go by feel. That's just me. You could do it with paper or whatever things everybody else has said. You take the wheel off, and what you're looking for is just a perfect amount of lash. And it's kind of a feel thing too. Obviously, you'll know when it's tight or when it's too loose. You just have to experiment with that and see what works for you. I'm going to take that off so you can see. So here's what I'm talking about, gear lash. See how much movement there is there in between like that? Let me hold this. Kind of hard to see that. That's actually a pretty good gear lash right there. I like it like that. Not too tight, not too loose. Some movement. I know you probably can't see it on this camera because it's stuttering. But it's like a feel thing. You kind of want the axle or the gear to have some, play in between the teeth. If it's real tight like this where you can't move it, that's not good. You want a little bit of movement. And you're going to see it as you look at it. You're going to see the movement. And that's real important. And on these cars, you really have to check that because they're not always tight here. That's why it's always good to check your gear mesh, because you could strip these gears and then you're done. This is a nylon gear and this is a brass pinion. And I do have replacement gears because I bought them for the hell of it just to have them. And here's like a set of them right here. And I don't have the red one, which is probably a 33 tooth, I think, because I have the 25 the 23, the 27, 26, and 24 too. So that's probably a 33. It's a red one. I just ordered one from Pendle Slot just as a backup. And that's what I got here. And then I got other stuff like little pins for the front axle, more of the nuts, 1.0, 2.0, the floating nuts, 2.5, 3.0, spacers, and then grub screws, you know, for the stuff gears and everything. I mean, I have all those things. And also you see here the body posts here, and I'm going to talk about the body posts because they do have body posts where you could change the height of the body. I honestly, these are all right. I just have them just as replacement. But what I've done again, and some guys don't do it, or some guys may not agree with me, is I use again. Oh boy, that's nice. That's what I mean about small parts. They would go ejecting all over the place. Have to find that later, I hope. Because these things are silicone and you can just flick them around real easily, so you gotta be careful. So for the body post, and what I found, like for example, the BMW I tuned. Here's a Group 2 car. On the Group 2 cars is where I see this, is that the body will rub on the top of the tire, or in the, you know, the tire will rub. And what I've done is, you can see here, I put those washers, right? To me, this benefits it for performance, you know, for, you know, how it works, how it moves around. And also, it benefits to lift the body up to keep the tire from hitting underneath here. And this is I believe a, let's see, it's not the thin one, it's a 1.5, I think it is. Here's a 0.5, a 1.5, and a 2.0, as you can see right here, and I got them right here. But it does help. On the BMW, I had to add a 1.5 millimeter washer on the back, because when you drive the car around, you're going to see the back of the body doing this, and you're going to know that it's hitting the tire, because you'll see it also rubbing into the tire. And I use those specifically to take care of that, to bring the body up a little bit so I don't have that banging around. So again, that's a matter of preference. Some people may not do that. Some other ways of doing to deal with that, but that's what I like to do. I'm going back to the Group 2 car. So I got something here from Pendle Slot 2 weeks ago called the junction bar. So you see this bar? There's extra holes in these chassis here on these cars. They have them on the Escort, the Alpha, the Cadet, and the BMW. So this is the Alpha. And I tried these out. From what I understand, these junction bars are for super high grip tracks and tires. I find no benefit using this on my track. The car handled the same either way. I just left it on there. It looks pretty cool. But they do make these if you're interested in trying them. I mean, they don't really do anything for me, but if they do something for you on the plastic track, there's a little bit of advice. But here they are. They're called junction bars. So they have one for the BMW, and they have one for the Escort. And a little different colors, green, blue. So that's what these are, and that's what this is. But I really didn't see any change in performance with these at all. It did fine, you know, the way they were. But one thing also with these guides, when you use them on the Group 2 cars, you see how that moves nicely. Now, if you're going to use these guides, these are a little bit shorter. This post right here is a little bit shorter than your other cars that are bigger. And what you're going to run into is that when you put this in on a Group 2 car and you shove them in there all the way, they're going to be really hard to turn, because they're hitting this top crown right here on the Group 2 cars because they're shorter. They're hitting this little crown here. So what you have to do is cut just a little bit off of the top of this post here, and it's not much, so cut about that much. It doesn't take much, very little. You would cut right about here and just take a small section out. If it's a little bigger, it's fine, don't worry. But you have to remove a little bit of it, and then when you put it in there, it'll spin nice and easy. But just keep that in mind, because if you try and shove it in there and, you know, it like sticks out like this when you have it in there, and then you force it in more, and then they're really hard to turn, that means that the tower is, or the post here is just a little bit too tall, and all you have to do is just cut a little with an X-Acto blade. Just chop a small section off, not real big, say like a fingernail size or a little bit bigger, and that should take care of that. And then if it doesn't, cut a little bit more until it's nice and easy, so it doesn't hit this crown part of this post on the Group 2 cars. So that's another thing that I've noticed on these. But and again, I tune these, with how I do it with just backing these out, because when they're in here they got some float, but I would like more float for my track. And it also helps these wheels, as you can see, make contact on the track, because this is moving and this is gonna contact the track better if you have some movement on these. Usually a little bit more in the back because it causes us to go like this more, but you have to experiment and try it out, see what works good for you. But that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to talk about, was that, if you guys wanted to see what I was doing. Now I gotta find my damn screw or the little washer I dropped on the ground here. But that's one thing nice about how would you say, a wood floor. It's easier to find things than a damn carpet upstairs at a hangar one. That's even worse. Give me a sec here, so I'm trying to seek it out. Which probably it's gone. That's okay. I got quite a few of them, but I don't want to lose them. I try to recover them. I'll probably find it later. So again, sometimes parts fall and they fly off, but I got some more here, and like I do right here. And I usually use a little, how would you say, little tweezers to grab them out, but they will jump around because they're silicone and they flex, and then they go flying off like they did. Keep that in mind. Another thing too, these are great little storage cases that Slot Car Corner has, and this is why I have all my parts in. So you can see this little case. These are really nice. They're 99 cents. There's another one, and then you could stack them. So if you want room on your your desk, that's what these are great for. So I could stack these when I'm done using them and put them off to the side like that, and then they're out of the way. And then they also could go in a small drawer if you have like some drawer for it. But these are really cool. I really like these. The only thing you got to be careful is when you open these up, make sure you close them up all the way. Obviously these are small screws, and I've done this on live where what happens is that when you close these, you don't go underneath that, and then you have an opening like this. Yeah, I did that, and then they fall out. So you want to make sure you go underneath that tab, so this way everything stays contained. But these are great little storage containers. I know they have the Dubrick ones, but I like these better than the Dubrick ones with the little flip lids. But these are really cool. So if you guys, they're really cheap things. If you start getting into tuning cars with little parts, this is great. So, but anyways, how you doing, Fred Moon? Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Those are just little things that just to discuss about, just since I'm on a real big Revo Slot kick, and just trying to show everything. Let me get rid of that camera. I'm sorry, that camera is like stuttering all over the place. It doesn't usually do that, but this time of the day it's been doing it more. I have no idea why, it just has. We could go and look at the download section of Revo Slot, and I'll show you that. So if you guys want to do, if you don't have the books or anything, or you can't find them, you could go to the Revo Slot site, and let me show you that right here. You can see that. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna widen this out. Let me get the chat bar up here too, because I can see people when they're chatting. So here's the Weber site here. Oh, darn you! Come on. It's showing that now. Yeah, no problem, Chris. The information is, knowledge is power. I'm not a racer per se, taking my cars to the track and trying to disguise what I do, because, that's competition and people don't want to reveal what their little secrets are sometimes. They'll give you a little bit, but they won't give you everything. I guarantee you that, because when you start beating them, then they're going to feel like, well, man, I should have kept my mouth shut, because that's competition. I do this for fun, and I do it for home. As long as my cars perform home great on my track, I'm happy with them. If I go to another track, like a French track or something like that, I mean, to readjust, that's no problem. But it just helps to just, have this knowledge so you could tune for yourself. And that's what my channel is to help people that are getting into it, and just to help them enjoy their slot car to the full extent by doing a simple tune, and then they could get better at it and do something better than what I do. And if you guys get better at what I do, then my mission's accomplished. I'm fine with that. I have no problem with somebody being better than me. I could care less. That's good. You know, you've done something, you know, better than I have. I'm happy with that. So here we are. If you can see this is the Revo Slot downloads. So if you go, excuse me, I have a tickle in my throat. Let me get some coffee here. I don't know why. Ooh, all right. So if you go to the Revo Slot page, it'll say Revo Slot cars, and it'll come up on the search right here. When you do it, Revo Slot car homes, you click that. And right here you have home, models, gallery. You go to downloads. And of course, you know, it'll tell you accept in Italy or Italian, excuse me. And then here you have all the cars that are made. And here are PDF downloads. And you could download these and keep them on your computer. For example, here's the red Alpha we're talking about. In here it shows you the parts list, the cars, the area that you have there. And you scroll down and it gives you a breakdown of everything. So if you're looking for a particular one, like the top plate, the chassis plate, and then you know, these right here, the pillars for the bearings, and then you have the motor spacer and the motor holder, pinion, the spur gear, the axles, the bearings, another pillar there. Actually, this is the pillar for the motor, excuse me. Pillar for the bearings, the spacers. You have the tires that come with standard 30 short tires, and then the motor, the brass nuts, the front axle holders as well. Front wheels, so there's the wheel size for both front and back. And the tires, which are hard tires because you don't want soft tires on the front of the car. And you have the screws. All right, see you later, Tad. Have a good one. Be safe. Then you have the guides. There's the standard guide I took off, and then the deep guide. And then you have the guide screws, and then the spring, and so forth. So you got all your stuff right here. These are really cool to look up stuff. And here you go where you see where it says these right here. So this is for the float for the chassis. Hey, Dan Wiley, excuse me. I didn't see you there, sir. Let's see, 33 Bean Raceway. So here's your float. You know, you want no float. You want the standard float, which is 2.0, and then the nut, the size of the nut, 2.5. You want more float. I've tried 2.5. It's a lot of float. If you go like 3, it'd be a massive amount of float. I mean, it just depends what works for your car or your track, because some cars require a lot more float than others. So I mean, they give you that options, which is cool. And you have those rubber covers for the body posts, and I have all those. So you have, you know, the colors, what they identify with, and the sizes. So 0.5 blue, 1.0, 1 millimeter black, 1.5 millimeter white. I have all these. Red. It's 2 millimeters. So pretty cool PDF files you can find here. And then you can go to other cars, which I have these right here, except for the blue one. And then you have the BMWs. Right here they list, I think, the junction bar, which I never noticed. So I didn't pay attention. I don't think they. Let's see if they do. So here are those 2 extra holes right here. That's what that junction bar goes on for this particular car or chassis. And as far as I could see, they don't mention that on here. See, that's how I kind of, when I saw it one day on Pendle Slot, I'm like, what the heck is that? And yeah, I went and investigated it, and then bought 3 just to try them out. I tried one on the Alpha. It's all right. I'm probably going to give the other ones to Harry so he could have fun with them. But it's just, you know, they don't really, to me, do anything for my track. But maybe they'll benefit yours. So, I mean, if you want to try one, I would. What the hell? See if it helps out. But that's the BMW. Then you have the Dodge Viper. Hey, Tony Tibbs. How you doing, sir? Now, the F40, this is the one with the extra holes, just like the Porsche GT1. So we're going to go down to the chassis, and you're going to see these 2 holes right here. So that's what these are for. So if you want to move the brass nuts here, you can for longer cars. If you're having problems with maybe these wheels not touching as much or just improving the handling. I moved mine on the F40, that red one I showed you, the Momo, to here because these front wheels were just way up in the air and I couldn't get them down anymore, even with using the real thin braid. So I figured, you know what, I'll move them here, put a little bit more float here to cause this plate to move around more so that these wheels will contact as it goes around the track. And that's kind of what I got from it. I mean, people may see something different, but it worked for me, so that's what I did. But again, these catalog, these little online PDF files got everything. Every car is on here that they made. I really like them. I think they're really cool. And you can download these for free, so you don't have to worry about keeping the books. But every car is on here. The F33, you know, the Momo Benton. This is the two that I have. The red and the silver when I came in a pack. The red and silver gray pack, something like that. Then you have MCL here, McLaren's. You have your Marcos. This one I haven't gotten yet, the Marcos. I want to try one of those. I do have the McLaren Golf one of these. I like them. The one thing I have a problem with the 2-car pack is that I don't like that they're the same color and then they're just different numbers. To me, it's like, yeah, it's all right. But I don't think I'd want to buy one unless it was a model really like the Corvette. I should have probably bought a 2-pack. But I know there's a website in Australia where they do separate them, and there is a number 3 car I could buy, the all yellow one. And then these McLarens are cool because they have, these are different. For example, this one. So this has a British theme, or excuse me, a British flag, and this has an American flag. So that's a cool set to get because they are different, because one represents the British, flag, and they want to represent the American flag. But just, my take on that. And then, of course, the GT2s. These are really great cars right here. I only have one. I need to get more. I have the red one. I think it's maybe this isn't it, but these are the Martini liveries because they have a bunch of those. Which one? It's this one right here. I got the red one of these cars, and this car is a fantastic car. They handle so well once you get them set up. I mean, they're quick. They're nice balance. They have a nice shape. They're not real big, not real small. They're perfect, and these do real well when you put some weight on them and just tune them right. They're just good cars. The only cars I haven't really gotten yet are the Marcos one and the whatchamacallit. What are those? The F33. I'm sorry. Those ones I haven't gotten yet. I have gotten a Mercedes on the way, and the Toyota. I did get my first Toyota. I actually got it as a surprise from Harry as a gift for my birthday. And he sent me this yellow one. That's what's on the cover photo of the live. That car is a really easy car to tune, and it handles great. It's like the Porsche GT1. It's really just a really rocking car. And this right now, they have this one, the yellow one, and the red one on sale at Slot Car Corner for $79.99. So I think he has a bunch of them. But that's a really cool car if you want to start off with the Revo. Great one right there. And they don't have any more pink there, but they have black. But here's another thing you could look at as well. You see how different these cars could be. So if you look here, you see where it says Type B, body plate Type B. You see the notch in here? Okay, I think this is reference to how these flares are right there. And then you see the green one, which this is the one I have with the yellow one. And you can see how this is, how the shape of the flare, it doesn't continue onto the bumper. So that's little notes to really keep an eye out for when you're looking for parts. I mean, you can see right here, there's the curb, and then this doesn't have the curb. So I have a yellow one that just goes down, and the red one I have on the way has this part right here. So there's two types of plates, different types of plates. So Type B has the flare that comes out more to the front of the bumper, and then Type A doesn't, the flare that just goes down but doesn't continue to the front, bumper. So that's something to keep in mind. But that was something that I, noticing and stuff. And of course, great breakdown of the parts and everything. But you get the point of everything what I'm saying here. The Toyota GT1, I got the only one I have is, you see, and it goes to Viper. I don't know why it does this. This is weird how this website does that. That's one thing I've noticed. When you pick certain cars, it goes to the Viper. So let's go to another GT1. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's see, here we go. Hopefully it won't put Viper on there. Here we go. So this car right here, some people have been having trouble getting the wheels down. And what I did with this one is that I made sure I got a good amount of float on it so that this plate articulates. And also I put the thinner slotted braid in there to bring the nose down. So this is the car, the black one, which is the special edition one. It's the all black one. This one right here, this is what I like about this car. I got this one set up, and it's the only one I've seen to get set up pretty good so far, is that when you stop this car, you hear the wheels still spinning. It's like, it's kind of cool. It's like, gosh, I wish they all could do that. which is fine. You know, sometimes some do, some don't, but that's kind of like the perfect way to get it. But this car is a pretty good car. These GT1 Toyotas, really nice cars. So, but this is the one I've been trying to get. But man, this one right now is expensive. This is the John Player Special, which I love that livery. And this one right now is like worth about $300 to $400. I think some people are asking for a lot, you know. But hey, Gene, how you doing? You got Gene in the house. Hope you're recovering from your surgery from your shoulder. Hope you're doing well. So, and again, they do offer sponge tires. You know, this is one thing I wanted to try, which I will later. So with the Pendle slot, so we could go to Pendle slot real quick, and I could show you the different things they have at Pendle slot. I don't know if Slot Car 132 US has the stuff that I've same thing as, you know, Pendle slot. Let me look. Where is Pendle slot? I thought I had it on there. Maybe I don't. Okay, let me type it in there. Pendle slot. There we go. All right. And we'll go to Pendle slot. Now, and then there's Slot Car 132 USA if you want to go there too. I just go to Pendle slot because it's just my preference. But there's also Allen's, you know, location. Alan Smith is the name in Tacoma, Washington. I think it is for that. Dighty is a he's a you know, they're their sponsor, DNA Slot Car. So I mean, if you ever have questions with certain things, you could ask Dighty. He's very knowledgeable. So I usually go shop by brand, and I'll go under. Good, Gene. I'm glad you're recovering good. I'll go pick a Revo slot. Hey, Slot Car Wildman, how you doing? And they're here, spare parts, and you got all this stuff. So the stuff I've ordered was these right here. I ordered a set of these just in case. And you see they have these Scale Auto sponge tires, which I'm going to try. I just couldn't afford them right now. On my next order, I'll do a tire order. But this is interesting to see these. And then I bought this gear. Here's the 32 tooth angle winder gear. And then they have a angle winder ergal spur gear, 33 tooth. So it's a little bit different. I think this is just all metal, I believe. But and the diameter is 12.4. Let me see what the other one is. I just get this stuff just to have it, just in case. Like, you never know if you need it. It's like, oh yeah, I got that. This doesn't say the height, but I'll have to check them out later and measure them when I get them. So here's the thing I ran into that was interesting. Here are some chassis. I think these are plastic chassis that you could get if you want to not have a brass one. This is for the Marcos car. They're I don't know if they're 3D printed. I'm not sure, but there you go if you're interested in something like that. Now here's the cool part about Pendle slot is they have bodies, so you can get, so if you get a white kit and you want to paint the damn thing and you want the livery of the car that you can't find, you can actually, they have these painted. These are painted bodies for 25 pounds. I think it's like $35, something like that. So I mean, that's pretty cool that you could do that. I don't have every car, but they have quite a bit. You know, like here's the BMW, you know, Marcos. You have the LM in the Marcos again, and you have the Porsche GT2 Viper. Here are the 333 cars. So it's kind of cool to have that options if you just want to buy a body. Of course, they have the white kit and all the interior parts and all that stuff like that. So wheels, whatever you could get. We'll look at Slot Car US 132 as well, but here's, you know, they got a lot of stuff. And the stuff that, well, actually the thing that caught my eye, this is a beautiful body. If you guys haven't seen this car is gorgeous. I have this car. It is beautiful looking car. And, you know, in front of your eye, in front of you in your hand. That's a nice body. That's a nice car. They don't have these out anymore. They have the blue coral one, which is a nice one too. Then you have your top plates here and stuff. Body parts for certain cars. Let's see. The thing that caught my eye the most when I was browsing today, and I just placed a small order, I didn't go crazy, was this right here. So this is what drew my attention. So you know they have the 1.0, the 2.0, the 2.5, and the 3. Well, this is 1.5. So, and I haven't seen these. This isn't in the catalog. So I'm like, So I bought these just to experiment. And I'm going to get a white kit to experiment too with the car because I want to get another chassis and just mess with it, which I will eventually get. I just have to figure which car to choose it on. But that caught my eye, and they have the pillars and all the other stuff. And there are the other ones. See, 1.0, 2.0, 2.5, 3.0. They don't have a 1.5. That's new. I didn't see that last time I was here, so I'm going to try that. Then they have axles. I have some axles. Guide screws. I bought this right here, these Revo Slot full set kit screws. I bought 3 packages of these just to have them in case ones get screwed up, stripped, or whatnot. It's good to have spares. And I have all these gears, of course, already. You've seen them. And these little front axle holders. I got all those gears. And then there's different pinions. And then I have all these body post things right here, all the 4 colors. So you just, here's that junction bar. See, new. I've got those already. I didn't see any, thing changed. So now they have the bottom and top plates too now for Escort. That's new. And then body parts for BMW. So they're adding stuff. And just more along down here. Another junction bar for the Cadet. And then the Opel Cadet, they have the chassis for it too. So cool. They got some stuff out. Here's the top plate. Cadet 2. So here's here you go. Body plate type AC and body type B. So let's look at that. Remember we're talking about that? It's probably a different body, so you won't accept that particular plate. This is where you get into that. And I went to Viper. Jeez, I hate when they do that. I think if we find Cadet somewhere else, here we go. If you're running that, just go to another Cadet window. Here, see again, Viper. Why they do that, I have no idea. That's annoying. I don't know if they're aware that that's happening. But I bet it has to do like with the Supra here. The different type of, excuse me, plates for the body, for the front nose. If I find, excuse me, Cadet. But that looks like the only 2 Cadets, so we're SOL on that. So let's see. Slot car 132. I'm going to all options here, so I'm not biased. Car 132 US. Okay, so this is the American Revo Slot dealer. We went to the English one. So we're gonna see. We go in here, and this I'm not too familiar with this website. Revo Slot 132 spare parts. Here we go. So here's their spare parts section. They do have angle wire and nylon gear spurs and stuff like that. Wheels, tires. Seems like everything in stock because I think last time I looked in here just for the hell of it, there was a lot of things they didn't have in stock. But I think Revo Slot is really popular right now because just they keep banging out just like awesome cars. I hate to say it, and I think they're ahead of everybody in my opinion. So my opinion on that is that these guys that are now starting to say, oh, we're going to build a metal chassis now, like MR Slot car, that's cool. The Corvette, but that's just one car. I'm going to have to wait, what, a year for it maybe? Whereas Revo Slot is pumping out 4 cars at a time. That includes a white kit. Remember that. So 3 cars in a white kit. So we have how many Corvettes now? We have quite a few Corvettes now in a white kit. So, I mean, now new Datsuns are coming out. I mean, they just keep blindsiding us with just cars and cars, and that's why they're getting a lot of sales, in my opinion. They're making cars that you could race against and that are different liveries and 3 at a time instead of waiting for one model and then have to wait for another one that really, if you want to be historically correct, that race against or whatnot, or for a group club. That's just, how it is. It's just, they're just a little bit slower, and Revo Slot's a little bit more proactive with that, in my opinion. That's why I've gravitated toward Revo Slot more. So here we got a lot of things that, to choose from. The only thing I didn't see that what the Pendle had was bodies. But I could be wrong. Let's look. This is all the same stuff that the other place has, but there's no pictures here. Rubber antenna, that's like the little small parts. Lightweight wheels, so you want racing wheels. They do have them. Body kit C. So yeah, they don't have a photo here, so it's hard to tell what that is. I do like things with photos. Seat white kit. Okay, that's a white kit. I thought it was a painted body, but I'm not sure. I had to look. But I rather prefer that they have pictures on stuff. Sometimes when you don't and they have descriptions, you kind of have to look for it. That was a pre-order there. What was that? Pre-order. Pre-order for rear Group 2 front rear wheels. So that's the Group 2 wheels pre-order. All right. No pictures. I like when they have pictures. I don't like this blank stuff. This doesn't help a person, I think, in a way, because people associate pictures with things unless they're really well versed on these parts and they know what it is. But I think a photo helps. I just don't like there's no photos on here. It doesn't really help you out. It says mirror set, but does it show you how much it comes in? How many come with it, or what it looks like, or what, yeah, cockpit Lexan, there you go. That's for like lightweight racing. I just think photos help better. See, there's no photos. That's what I don't like. I think picture says 1,000 words, as they say. There's nothing here really to cockpit cadet Lexan. That doesn't, I don't prefer that kind of stuff. I mean, that's how they do their site. That's up to them. But anyways, it is what it is. And let's turn this off. And I think that's done. Oops, enough of my yapping here. So anyways, hope that helped you out, guys, with just talking about that. That's basically what this was. If you guys have any questions, I can help you out as much as I can. But there's a lot of other guys that do videos on tuning on Revo slots too. So remember, go check their videos out and see what they're up to, because they may have an idea that I don't have, and you could take that from it. You take everybody's ideas and just go with it and make it your own. Tony Tibbs, question, George. I didn't know if it's my screen, but I can only see the bottom of the page you're looking through. It may be your screen, because can everybody see my face now? Because that's what I have right now, because I have like multiple camera settings, but I could look on let me look on nope. You should be able to see my face, actually. Yep, you should be able to see my whole face, because that's what's shown right now. The internet's really jerky right now, so I'm sorry, everything seems slow. It could be just taking a while to, for some reason, this time of the day, it's just for today, I guess it's doing it. Sometimes the Wi-Fi will be that way in this area, and then sometimes it'll be flowing real nicely, and then sometimes I'll stuttery, just like with the ZV-1 camera. It shouldn't have been doing that, because I've had that camera on other lives, and it works real good. Hey, Rob from Swiss Slots, how you doing? I just sent Rob some stuff so he could build a midget. Oh, he was talking about when I was browsing. I got you, Dave. So Rob's going to build a midget. Looking forward to seeing his build. And Rob, I could send you the car back. It probably costs $28, $30. That's how much it costs to ship stuff. And of course I put, the toy car thing on there, so they just not, I don't know if you don't have to pay any import tax. I'm trying to avoid all that. So, but it's no worries to send it back to you if you send it for the Midget Madness this year. And I just want you to build something, because I felt real bad that what you were trying to do before you couldn't do. And there's something else, Rob. I do have a modified 1/25th scale model if you're interested in using that. It's actually an asphalt modified model kit. So if you really still want to build a modified, I'll just send you that kit and just pay for the shipping on that kit, and you could have it. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll send you a picture, because I know you were trying to do a modified, and that call kind of went sideways and went, from underneath you. So if I could accommodate you that way and get you some, material for your channel, I'd be willing to do that. So, but just let me know. I'll send you a photo of it. But Rob's a good guy. Rob's very, very gifted at what he does. So I like watching his videos. His hot rod build was probably the one I liked the most. That was pretty damn cool how he built that car. I mean, he really was really careful to keep the essence of the model kit together. That is very hard to do. If you guys haven't seen that video, it's like a 3-part video. I recommend you watch it, because the way he goes around that whole model. Yeah, no problem, Rob. I'll send you a photo of it if you want. I'll send it to you. The way he went about making that into a slot car, and they were just models that were already made that he bought, and he picked one, and the way he did it was just spectacular. How he put that together, and it was so super cool. And it's just really impressive what he does. He's really knowledgeable, good guy. So if you haven't seen his channel, please visit Swift Slots. It's a real good channel. You know, you got 8 more of those, yeah. Dave loves doing hot rods too. Dave does an awesome job at hot rods. I've only done 1 or 2 or 3, but I need to get into the style how Dave does it, because Dave has got that style to where it's more of the patina type, and I definitely want to do that more. So if you guys, also Dave is going to be doing lives on that slot car corner 125th scale chassis kit we just got, and he's going to make a hot rod out of that kit. So I advise all you guys, watch those videos. You guys are asking how to put the chassis together, and you know, for 125th scale, which I will be doing one as well, but Dave's going to be doing a hot rod, and I think that's one thing you should be looking out for. That is a great way to use that kit. And again, that just shows you could use that kit for anything for a 125th scale model car. So, but stay tuned to those. Those will be good to watch. It's good material, you know. Saw it, yes, it was done very well. All right, Gene, cool. Rewatched that yesterday, so good. Oh yeah, good. I'm glad. That's again, real cool stuff right there, how he does all that. But yeah. So if any questions from anybody else, I hope I answered everything I could. You know, let me know. Gladstone, how you doing? Who's Rob you are talking about? Swift Slots. That is Rob. Swift Slots. That's his channel. He's got his avatar there on his chat screen. That's who we're talking about, Rob. I suck. Rob is the master. No, I wouldn't say that, buddy. Would not say that one bit. Don't say that at all. Nobody's home. How you doing? I'm sorry if I didn't see you there earlier. Hope you're doing good. And Torque Mutant, how you doing there, sir? Oh, no problem. It's just a basic class. Nothing. Not really a class. Just advice. I wouldn't say a class because I'm not, you know, some like super expert. I'm just a person that I found what works for me, and so I'm just passing on to everybody. And you try it out. If it doesn't work, try something different, or look at somebody else's video and gain something from that. It's all about tuning the car to make it more of a pleasure to drive and not have to just like throw it off to the side and be frustrated with it. So, but I'm glad you took something away from it. I didn't see you earlier. You were there. I'm sorry I didn't greet you. I got to look back to the chat here and check. But of course, I'm downstairs at Area 51 with the OBS software. I'm not upstairs with the eCam, which is Hangar 1. But, yep. Cool, guys. Well, you know, I hope you... yeah, that car that right there, that car that Dave built for Sasha is really nice. That's a custom car now, see? This is when I talk about... It's fun to do Revo slots and stuff like that, but when you get a custom car like what Dave built, that's a one-off car. Nobody's going to make a car like that. That's specifically for her because it has her name on it. It has her little figure, which is like her, blonde-haired kid. It has a rat fink shifter, which is Dave is known for making, which those are so cool. You ain't going to find that. That's what scratch building is. It's more a expression of individuality and just artistic, how would you say artistic? I can't just use that word, but, you know, showing your artistic ways of doing things. But yeah, Professor, no, I am not. Appreciate that though, but it's cool. That's what's great about scratch building too. Again, I like getting Revo slots and stuff and all that stuff, but the scratch building parts were I really like the most. It's the most area that I think you could do so much more, you know, especially if cars you cannot buy. That's the whole thing comes down to. You know, certain cars you can't buy, so you do that. Build your own. Just like what Marty did with the Jake Dyke special. You know, but all right. Any more questions from anybody? I know we've been on over an hour, so I know it's what's it, 1 o'clock actually, and people are probably at work, but this is a video you can watch on replay. What we can do, we could run some cars. Anybody interested in seeing some of the cars, the Revo Slot cars that I've tuned, and run them on the track? We could do that, see how they work. The Toyota Supra works fantastic. That car is a fun. I'm glad I'm getting another one. I really like that car. I wasn't, like I said, I'm trying to get most of what I can out of them, but nothing beats seeing your own work running. Yep, that is true, Rob. Very true. Very, very true. But got 2 waiting on Dave. Yeah, run. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's take that off. And I'm going to switch mics. Actually, let me turn on another camera. Alright, turning on another camera because I want to switch the mics out, which I'll probably have to switch to the other mic, which is the one on, there it goes, the overhead track mic. Alright, let me see, come on, trying to get this camera to respond. Here we go. Change that view. This is a 360 camera. There you go. There's that camera. So there's a little 360 view camera. I'm going to put the overhead mic, guys. Do a mic check. Make sure you can hear me. Alright, everybody hear me? Loud and clear. That is the overhead camera. Get a yes, a thumbs up, anything. Let me know. Appreciate it. Yep, scratch filling in an art form, correct. Okay, I'm assuming everybody can hear me, so I'm gonna run. Yep, Dave's gonna be starting a live series pretty soon here. So, alright. Where is it? Here it is. So I'll get the 2 cards I just recently did. Actually did quite a few of these. We got the green BMW. And we got the yellow Toyota. Bit loud. Okay, I'll lower it down. How's that, Rob? Not too loud now? Hope not. I hope you're probably hearing the fan. Let me turn off the fan. It'll quiet it down a little bit. I mean, that's what you're hearing, the whoosh of the fan. Let me put this car back together, the Alpha. Because I do want to run the Alpha. We secure her. Give me a sec here, guys. I'm going to readjust. Okay, you're good, alright. It's probably that fan, Rob. That fan, I have an overhead fan and it was probably making a lot of noise. Kind of obnoxious, which it's a pretty good fan. It really cools the room good. It gets hot and humid here in North Carolina, even though we have air conditioning. It can get warm here if you don't maintain it. Bad echo. Okay. Weird. I have no other. Wait a minute. Okay, how about now? I know why. Okay, that 360 mic was on. Sorry. There you go. UFO interference? No, I don't think so. Alright, Dave, I took care of that. Thank you for telling me that. Alright, got the Alpha back together, so then I got the Ferrari. Alright. I'll run the BMW. Get my spectacles on because I'm blind. I'm blind as anything, as shit. Alright. So we're all good, right? Alright, good. Here we go. These cars are weird. Once you break them in, they will quiet down. When you first put them on the track, they're really noisy and kind of like, I don't know, they just have to like come into their own. But when you run them like a good 20 to 30 laps, they start quieting down a little and they start getting smoother and they start kind of straightening out. But at first you're kind of like, God, I just did all this work and it seems. So give them a chance. These are 34 tires on this car. I have to look up to see if I think they do make tires. And I hope they would do 25 tires for these cars. It'd be nice. Nice and smooth. Good gear math. What makes these cars noisy is the interior, because they resonate all the noise. I'm not looking to find a way to quiet it down, but I do like the noise. It doesn't bother me. Thanks, Dave. Good. See, it's nice and enjoyable. This car's fun. Alright, let's try the Alpha. So this is the one with that junction bar, and I don't see any difference in handling to the other Alphas I have. The other Alpha Romeo was a really nice fun car. This has the cotton beating down in it also, so. Pigs in space, all wildlife. Those are the Muppets. The Group 2 cars are just, as Harry says, fun little rascals. They really are. They are just fun little cars, and they really are really evenly competitive with each other. Not one is faster than the other, it's all in the driver. So they're really evenly matched cars. You know, stop to the stop car. Every time I see this this new track, I like it even more. It really has nice flow, way better than that Carrera you were using. Yeah, that's true. And so this track right here is, was designed by Johan from Racetrack Scenics, and we were going back and forth on how we want the layout, because originally Area 51 was one that just went like this, and then it curved, and then it did a dog leg here, and then curved here. So he basically just changed it. I like how he puts the sweep, because when the cars sweep around here, they really have a nice gradual sweep, which is cool. Right here, you have to be careful because it will kick out if you over throttle it. It'll kick out. And then over here, you have to slow down and make your S. And then the hairpin turn's pretty cool. It's not a big issue. I don't see too many wrecks. Maybe I see more wrecks like it'll de-slot here or in that corner or sometimes here. But otherwise, when you come down the straight, you just let off the throttle and then ease into it as you come around the corner, and then just throttle in here and then go down, and then you can hold onto the throttle when you come over here, let off a little. If you over throttle in here, the car will kick out. So it works really well. I like the design of it. It's too bad that Kevin can't ship to guys like in the UK and stuff, because this is a fun track, and Kevin has this on his website. It's Raceway 51. And he uses it as a stock, track design, and then you could add to it if you want to make it longer. There's seconds you could add to it to make it just a lot longer, up to 18 feet, I think. So it's a cool track. I like it a lot. I'm glad that I went to a good track. It's just trying to get out of the plastic. Nothing in this plastic track. You evolve in the hobby, and I evolved into this. So. But there's nothing wrong with plastic track, like I said. I was on it for 6 years. I enjoyed it, so. But I do like this track a lot. There you overthrow it, kicked out. Where's the Alpha? We'll try the Ferrari F40 Momo. One different animal, a lot of bigger car. ZSJ Slot Car Raceway, how you doing there? Welcome. Muppets, yes, you are the only one that caught that. Yep, I know what you're talking about. Just peeking in his face. Yep. Kick out there. These are the short 30 tires on this car. I do want to go to G25 so that they won't tear up as easily. Seems like the heavier cars tear up the short 30 tires more on this wood track. Jack up 30 feet up throttle. Stopping too fast. So this is the one where I moved the rattle nuts to the front of the chassis because this F40 has that option along with the GT1 chassis. And I think the Viper, I don't think the Viper has it. I think the Viper has, when I heard I don't have one, there's two front axle bearing color mount positions. Ooh, too much. This is a fun little car. The wheels are contacting. That was one of my big things is they weren't really contacting that well. They were really up in the air. It would be a yeah, it would be a lot. Holy shit, that'd be a lot of money just in shipping for UK with my 3-lane. Oh man, that's crazy. You know what's crazy? Canada. I know Canada is ridiculous with shipping stuff to Canada. That's why I can't do it. In the UK, it's not bad. I think 1 pound package. I put 1 pound on it today when I went to the post office. And I had to fill out a customs form, the dimensions of it, the value of it. Of course, no poisons, you know, flammable explosives are what they don't allow in the EU, obviously just like the US. And I made the label out, so yep. About $30, so it wasn't too bad. It's too much here. There's the F40. So here's the Toyota I just did, the Supra. This one's a real nice run car. If you want to get into a Revo Slot for the first time, this Toyota is actually a good one to get into. It's a really well balanced car. It works so nice. George, can 4 people race at one time on your track? No, Gary. This is an analog 2-lane only. Upstairs in Hangar 1, 4 people could race. That is a 4-lane oval. A 14 by 5 oval upstairs. But down here it's only 2. It's not a digital system. If that's what you're trying to say. Bo, how you doing? Well, hello everyone. I see I'm late. Better late than never. No problem, Bo. Have you got the Polycar BRZ? I bought the one the other day, but did not run it yet. I don't know what to expect. So you're talking about the Pedro Rodriguez one there, Swift slots. That would be. I will show you the Pedro Rodriguez car. That's the last one. I have every one of these polycars. We could run some polycars too. So if you're talking about this one, actually, let me go to this camera. This one right here. This is not a bad car to tune. If you get them out of the box, they may not perform as well because you may have to set the front axle height, and then just check the car in general, the gears, and move it up a little bit more. But here, this is one tuned. We'll put it on there. Tires are a little dirty. Let me clean up the tires. Need to be smoothed out. These are stock rubber on these cars right here. On this one right here in particular. Let me clean, get some cleaning goodness. No, the road car. No, I have not, sir. I have not gotten that one. I thought you were talking about these ones. I'm sorry, the F1 cars. No, I haven't. That one I haven't gotten yet. I have usually the quality cars that I have are like some of the Ferraris, and the F1s are the ones I really collect. I collect these cars, and I have all of them right now. There's probably 2 more coming out within the 3rd quarter, I think, or maybe the 2nd quarter. I'm not sure, but those are the poly cars I really love. But no, I haven't tried that one out, Rob. Sorry, I don't know what to expect on that one. You got me on that one. I'm sorry. this yellow car and the red one, I think, is at Slot Car Corner, and they're $10 less because they're on sale. They're $79.99 instead of $89.99. So if you guys are interested in these cars, which I think the Toyota Supra is a fantastic car, and I'm really having a good time with this car right here. And, that's a good entry level Revo Slot car, I think. And they handle real well. See, and this short 30 rubber runs good with this car because it's smaller. On the bigger ones like the Ferrari and the Corvette, and I think that's it, and maybe the Viper. I don't have a Viper yet. They seem to tear up more on my track. That's why I went with the G25 rubber. And I prefer the G25 rubber. So I'll show you the Corvette I have with the G25. Slot R, what's up, man? How you doing? So, let's go with the latest. So this has the G25 rubber. This Corvette here. Clean the tires a little. Clean the tire just a little bit. How you doing, Dave from Swift Slot? Dave from Swift Slot's in the house now. How you doing there, sir? Rob isn't anything like it's smooth. Yeah, because you see, Dave has one, I don't. Talking about the road car. So I noticed slot car racers are running 132nd cars once before becoming a thing of the past. ZSJ slot car raceway. No, there's a lot of people that are really into HO. AFX makes a lot of cars. Auto World, they make a lot. AFX has come out with a lot of cool muscle cars, but no, I wouldn't say that. It's just there's different people in the hobby in different areas of it. 164 HO is more is a very much. I mean, there's getting very much alive than you would think. There's a lot of people that still run those cars, and if you go to Home Racing World. Sign up for the forum, it's free. There's an HO section, there's a Carrera digital section, there's a scratch build section, there's building scenery, there's track building, there's all kinds of stuff. So yeah, HO's still around. It's just I prefer 132nd and 125th, that's just me. But if I had room for an HO track and I got into HO, I'd probably do HO as well. But I don't, and that's a whole nother deal, and I don't want to get into. Where I'm at is fine, so I won't, go into that area. But yeah, there's other channels that do, HO. Here's the Corvette. It's a longer car, so it's a little bit more, got to drive it differently. But this is a G25 rubber on here, not the stock rubber. I find that the G25 on the bigger car seems to work better for me. And once you run this at 200 to 300 laps, it'll get a lot better. It's getting quieter now. It used to be a little bit noisy, now it's quieted down. And these cars will quiet down as you break the gears in. I use a synthetic lubricant on it. I know other guys have their own concoction that they mix up, and toothpaste and gear lapping material, and mixing super lube with graphite. I just use the Slot Car Corner synthetic grease. That's good enough for me. You think it does fine once you break in. As long as you have some type of lubricant, that's the whole point. Alright, let me answer some. No issues, so this Bo's answering ZJ or ZSJ. I have one in HO in my loft. Used to run it with the club and like yeah, see? I started with HO as a kid. HO, AFX, and TCR is the one I remember the most. Total Control Racing, that was the one that you would change lanes when you had a jam car. That was a lot of fun. Because that made it more entertaining as a single driver because you had a car you had to pass. And that's what made it fun and exciting. So TCR was another one that was really a fun track. And of course the classic AFX Aurora. There's the Corvette. Alright, so let's get another Revo slot out. Will slotted gears fit Revo if reamed to 3mm? I think slotted is 3/32, not 3mm, and NSR It's 3mm. I think in the Revo is 3mm, but yeah, slotted is usually 3/32, from what I understand. It's not 3mm. So I'd probably just stick with the 3mm axle, but I could be wrong. Still around 143, which is already hard to follow all the time because they're so fast. 132 is way better than 124. Yeah, it also depends. Depends what you like. It's all in preference or what you enjoy. You enjoy what you like, not what others like. That's the whole point of this. So here's that GT1 I was telling you, GT2, I was telling you about. This is another well-balanced Revo Slot car. I mean, this thing rips. And this is your stock tire. This is after more than 500 laps on this car, so you see them settle in nicely. And this car, this is a really well-balanced little car. This is like the Toyota. The Toyota, once it gets more laps on it, it's going to be a good ripper like this. After we can break in more, that car's still fresh. This car got a little over 500 laps on it though. So the GT2 is a great car for another good entry level for Revo Slot. See, I got weight on the bottom here. And this has got the Gorilla tape on it before I use the Mazzetti bushings. So lots of fun there. You've only got to buy a L3 reamer. It's not hard. Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know that. Good. Thanks, Rob, for letting us know that. You can ream the whole lot. All right, cool. Huh. I got what you're saying. I have a reamer for stock car wheels from Stock Car Corner, so sometimes they're kind of hard to put the axle and you can ream them out. But yeah, yes sir, you can if you want to do that. I would go for it. Why not? See, it's all about doing what you feel works for you. Here's the GT1. This is a cool looking car. This car is so geared differently than one of the high art, like you say, tall gear. This one I ran in the oval and it was pretty fast. It was one of the fastest ones. The Corvette, I think the Corvette was the faster one when I did the time trial stuff on the oval. I ran it once before I got this track. Oops. This is stock rubber on this car, so this car is a different one. I think these tires are wider than the, yeah, these are the wider tires. Yep, and I have tires for this too. That's cool. Those are those tires I got that I showed earlier. Let's see. We'll try the Datsuns. Let's try the number 52 Datsun here. There's a Datsun there. Datsun. Let's see. I'll remount a 132nd gear, fit my Revo. Cool. That'd be pretty interesting to see that, Rob. That'd probably work real nice as I finish my McLaren to show how easy it is. Alright. See, there you go. Another modification that's, shoot, if you wanted to try it out and experiment, I'd say, hell yeah, go for it. Go for it. So let's try a Porsche GT1 and a McLaren. And we'll throw an Escort, because we haven't thrown an Escort out there, and that's pretty much all my cars. The ones that I have, and then nothing new as far as the other ones go, but yeah, alright. Here's the little Escort. Granted, some of these cars reduce price and weight because of the car I weight for some reason. These are stuttering right there. Oop! Let off the throttle, shouldn't have. Like tipped. Here's the little Escort. Alright, here's the McLaren. Oh! Crash! Alright, try that again. Oh man. I'm giving this car justice anyway. Another tip over. Alright. What was that here? You need to clean my track. Too much. Here's my clean your own. Alright, last car. GT1. Ooh, hold on a second. Weird. It's weird. Something weird. Let's see. Imagination here. We'll find out. Some break, they'll break. Another good handling car is GT2. Seems like all the Porsches that Revo Slot makes really do really well. Very good cars. So sorry, Dave, you need one of these MDF tracks. I'm sure, Rob, you could build your own. You pretty much build a lot of things. You go over to Dave's house and do a MDF track of Dave's track. Dave's track is a nice layout. You really need that so that everything's really easy to drive. It's easy to drive. That's what you want, a track that's slow and easy to drive. There you go. That is the JK1. A little noisy. There you go, guys. pretty much. I got more. They're just duplicate cars. Those are all the brands all the models I have. Can I see the Toyota up close? Just want to check what one it is. It is the limited edition one, or the all black one, the GT. Here you go, Rob. Let me make this camera bigger here. Hold on a second, so you can see better. All right, Rob. There you go. Hope you can see. No, hold on a second. Let me turn on some lights here. Some lights to help here. I don't have these ones on. Need some more light. Ah, there you go. That is a limited edition black one. I think LEB has a few of these left. It's a beautiful car. I think pedal slot would too. It's a real nice looking car. They had a problem with these ones, and these things really spin nicely. Look how. That's after they break in, they spin nicely. That's what you want. These cars, they had a problem with the front grub screw. So they used the wrong grub screws on these cars, on the wheels. And when you got them, you tried to tighten the grub screw and it wouldn't tighten, and then the wheels wouldn't stay on. So then the Revo Slot, corrected that and sent the dealers the correct wheels. And so with, I got this from Slot Car 132 USA. So I had to email them back, tell them, hey, so when I got the car, I couldn't run it. Which is kind of disappointing, but hey, that's slot cars. You can't get mad about that stuff. Things happen in manufacturing. I don't get pissed off at those things. Now, when they don't respond or take care of me, that's when I get pissed off. But they took care of me right away. I gave them the receipt when I ordered it. They found it, and then he sent me the wheel covers as well. He offered to send the wheel covers and the disc parts of it, because there's a little disc brake in here. And I had all that already. I just said, no, send me the wheels and the grub screws, and he did. And got this all done, and this is I had to wait a couple weeks to get this car, on the track. But yeah, cool one. The yellow one. Oh, jeez, I'm all talking and I didn't see you wanted the yellow one. I forgot there was a yellow Toyota. All right, Ross, hold on. Sorry, bud. This is the Supra. There's the Supra. Martini livery. They have them in pink, black, red, green, and yellow, and I believe white too. If I'm wrong, if I'm not wrong, excuse me. Yeah, this is a cool, easy running car, man. It really works well. This one really moves nicely. This is good competition for that GT2, along with the GT1. But yeah. Sorry, Rob, I misunderstood you. I forgot I had another Toyota because I just got this one. This is a gift from Harry Wise. He knew it was my birthday, and he ordered it from Slot Car and they delivered it here yesterday. So it was my birthday yesterday, so it was a gift. So I went ahead and tuned it, and the last car I have is one GT1 car that I have left, and then my case is full. I have 32 cars. But yeah, they're nice. They're really well shaped. I think these cars, a lot of people didn't get them because Martini livery is kind of drawn out. But actually, this is a great car to get if you really start out with a Revo Slot. I would recommend this car, the Supra. I know Gene from Gene's Slot Car Room, he has two of these, and he said he was having a problem with the front tires touching, but I think he took care of that. But yeah, no problem, Rob. Got to run, George. All right, Slot Car Wildman, take care. Yep. The BMW to me is this one's really cool. I really like this one. I like how they did the paint. The checkered flag with the green, and then checkered flag on the back. That's just a real super cool looking car. I really like this one. I just like the livery and the way it's painted. And these Revo Slot cars are so, I don't know what it is about them, but I've had these turn over and fall on their roofs, and they really don't, the paint doesn't come off really easy. They're really durable. Kind of shocked, but I mean, they're really detailed. You see the little BMW emblem on there. I mean, everything is very well defined. It just looks really crystal clear when you look at it and hold it in your hand. They really make a big impression when you get these cars. You're like, whoa, yeah, that's nice. That's why they're so addictive to buy. But yeah, here's the one I was talking about, the yellow Pennzoil GT1. Thank you, Tony Tibbs. Appreciate that. This one's gorgeous. And this is a really cool looking car, along with the blue coral one I was running. That's just a really nice looking car. Let me see if my ZV-1 camera will cooperate. And I'll use my ZV-1 camera to show you it more better. I think this camera seems to be a lot better in showing, but it's like been jolting around so much. Let me scan out here. Alright, let's switch cameras again. Brought to you by George. Doesn't look like it's stuttering as much, but here we go. So here you go. This is a gorgeous car. This is really nice livery on this car. It's just really beautiful. And then I'll show you the blue coral one. The blue coral one's like a metallic like paint job mixed on it. And I got these before they were gone, because this is a metallic blue paint job on this. This is really gorgeous. This is a beautiful one, the blue coral one. Yeah, Gary, they're really cool. They're beautiful. I love these. These things are just, a lot of the GT1 cars are just gorgeous. That's why I got the silver one here, and then the other silver one's coming. This is just really nice. Even they had a marble one that was nice that I wasn't able to get. Which is really nice looking car. And here, let's do this Rob again. This will probably look better on this camera. There you go. There is the Toyota Super Rob. I think this camera just does a better job of being more HD-ish. That's a nice livery on there. It's a fantasy livery, but it's cool. And all the cars are patterned like this. They're just in different colors. The wheels are nice. I mean, look at all the little little silver dots all around it. It's really nice. And then let's do the BMW. Drink good one. I guess that's drink good in German. That's what I was told by Dave. Shotgun Dave. See, just really beautiful. I like the checkered flag on it. I have a white one on the way. The orange one I wasn't too crazy about, but I mean, I don't know. You pick what you want. This is a really cool looking car. And I only had one BMW before, which was the black one. In the first series of these came up. These ones are nice. I like these ones. Nice car. Alright, boys. Well, anybody else have any questions? You gotta get me a Toyota Supra white kit. Yeah, get the Supra white kit, man. The yeah, I know you could paint something nice, man. I'd like to see what you could paint. Rob is a good man at painting skills, along with Dave. And there's another gentleman named Lee Wright on the Home Racing World Facebook page. Lee Wright does some really good paint work. Me, I'm okay. I do average. I think I could do better. I just need to just concentrate more on just taking my time. Sometimes I get impatient with painting. You have to be patient. But yeah, don't forget, man. There's the white kits too, which I plan on experimenting with a white kit. I mainly want to get the chassis so I could experiment. Maybe I'll put test alien test car on it. I could test all these different various things I have here. You know, this camera's so stuttery. Let's shut it off and go to the other one. There you go. I'm not all moving in spaces there. Rob or the Marcos, yeah, and I want to get a Marcos one, which you can get them. You just have to go somewhere else. Marcos ones are that's an interesting car. Because I bet Dave, because of the shape of them. Those Toyota Supras are fast too, Dave. Have you got a Toyota Supra, Dave? I'm curious. Or the GT1, because I can't remember which ones you have. I know you have the Cadets, the Alpha, and the Escorts. That Supra and the GT1, even the GT2. Those are, once you get those cars set up, they're quick. They're not as big and they're not as small. As you can see when you run the Group 2 cars, how small they are. They're a little bit squirrely, and then you run the bigger cars, they're a little bit, a little bit squirrely, they're just big. And then when you get to those medium-sized cars, which are those things are just, they seem to handle a little bit better, in my opinion, but that could be just me. Yeah, Marcos would be cool. Less work is awesome. The Fly Marcos is beautiful, and it couldn't be more different in quality from Revo Slot. Oh, yeah, well, Fly makes... See, a lot of people don't understand that. Fly was the one to really get other slot car companies to realize, boy, we better do some really nice cars. Even though the chassis were crap, people still bought them because the presentation of the car and then the detailed work. Because the chassis part, if you're a hobbyist with slot cars, you can take care of the chassis. There's ways around that. You'll find a way to make it work. But the body work on those cars really made other slot car companies just go, well, we better start upping our game, because Fly is, even though the chassis are junk, they're making some nice cars and people are buying them. That's the thing with Revo Slot. To me, I mean, I sound like a big fanboy. I am. I'm not going to deny it, but they're making more stuff in more quantities and turning them out faster because they're giving what the hobbyist wants: quality, detail, ease of tuning, balance. Price-wise, it's worth it. It's worth the admission for getting in. And they're popping them out. Whereas you gotta wait. Okay, MR Slot Car is coming out with Corvette. That's awesome. C1 Corvette metal chassis. They're gonna do all this. That's just one car. That's the problem with that, in my opinion. And he's a small company, I understand that, but we're gonna have to wait probably a year for that car. The Shadow took a long time. Shadow is a great car. I love that car. I have one. But again, that took a long time. There's no running mate with that car. What did it run against? I guess you could get a Thunder Slot Cam car. You can do that. But I mean, people if they want to do clubs and they want a certain class for a certain brand, then that's what Revo Slot is offering, and that's why I believe they're kind of running away with a lot of sales. See, NSR is smart too. Another smart company. They really, that's why they made those test cars. It's really for clubs, which is cool. I don't personally. The Corvette C8 is a test car. I have a McLaren test car too, and it just I like liveries on the car. It was kind of boring just seeing them. That's why I didn't really gravitate toward those. But when the livery cars come out, I'd like to get one. But I mean, NSR, Revo Slot, Scale Auto is really starting to get in there and get in people's face with their cars because they're making some nice cars. So I mean, they're giving what the hobbyist wants. So that's the important part. They're trying to give what you like. So and I like this stuff. That's why I get it. That's why I have a lot of spare parts now for everything. Because I don't want them to break. I want to be able to fix them. And just experiment with them. But anyways, Fly dragged the hobby well up. Yeah, they did, because they really made other companies realize, well, we should be. They're selling a lot. Why do you think, in my opinion, why do you think MR Slot Car thought, well, maybe we should make a metal chassis? Because they're seeing Revo Slot is just racking it in. And, I mean, you turn your head in another series of cars, look at it, we're getting more Datsuns and, more F40s. So I'm sure in the next month or two, another one's, they're going to announce something else. So, I mean, it's cool. The Corvette, them coming out with the Corvette was really a big draw for me toward Revo Slot. I don't mind the European cars because I didn't grow up in Europe. I grew up in the United States. So, to me, the American muscle car and American irons is what I really like. Not too many people make it because here in America, not too many people do a lot of the slot car hobby. It's more trains and video games. Whereas in Europe, where you guys are at, like Rob and all that, everybody does slot cars. That's what they grew up with, and they continued that. Here, that's a little tough. So when they made the Corvette, that really got me like, excited to buy one of those, and then I bought one, and I bought another because they're just cool cars, and that got me drawing into the more stuff. Start getting more into the more Revo slots, the other cars that I didn't really pay attention to. So, but it's your preference, just like Polycar. One thing about Polycar I like is they make multiple F1s. They don't just have one F1 and then they call it a day. That's one thing about like the slotted Datsun. It's kind of Revo Slot Datsun's kind of overshadowed that because it's like, well, we have a Datsun. It's still taking them a while to produce it. Maybe by the end of the month it'll be done. I don't know. But now I'm not interested in it. I'm more interested in the Revo Slot stuff because there's more than just one livery. It's not just one, and then that's it. So, but that's again my personal opinion. Everybody else has a different opinion on stuff. So, anyways, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna call it because I need to barbecue some ribs soon. They're in the oven getting tenderized, and I'm gonna throw them on the grill. So, I'm gonna have me a good meal before I go to work tomorrow early in the morning. So, if any more questions, I hope it didn't bore you with my jammer and chatter. We still have 19 people watching. I appreciate you guys watching the live stream. I appreciate it every time you watch the live stream here at Area 51. I try and do the best to help people out because that's basically my goal here is share knowledge, and if you guys have an idea, please share it with me. And I'm a big supporter of Slot Car Corner, Racetrack Scenics, Slot Invasion, and Home Racing World, and Dave. Those are the guys that I'm loyal to. So again, Slot Car Corner has really helped us out because in the scratch build section, the category, they've really done a lot more than anybody else. So that's why I do a lot of they're making sure they get well known. So, but again, just me. Are you a club racer? Where do you live? They're a slot car club racer. Torque Mutant. I am not a club racer. I am a individualist. I would say I club race at Home Racing World, which I'll be doing in July. I'm more of the scratch builds proxy, and it's really only Home Racing World's proxy. I don't send brass chassis to other tracks like in Canada or anything. Nothing against that, but I just don't do that. That's just not my thing. There is a club around here. I don't have time to go over there. I mean, I probably do, but I don't really race together. They're called the Slot Car Addicts in North Carolina. Really good group of guys. The guy who runs it's named Rob Fowler, and he has a nice track at his home. Real big track. I think it's called Lone Tree Raceway or Hill Tree Raceway, something like I can't remember. And then there's Steve Acesta, who has a tracker he built, which is really nice, and a couple other guys. And then they go to two main tracks that they have. So they have one track above a business that Rob owns. It's a 4x4 upgrade, where they do stuff, bigger tires and suspension kits. Above that is a track called Slot Zuka. And Slot Zuka is a really nice track, and that's where they race on. And then they have another track adjacent to that room. I don't know what the name of that track is. It's more of a road course. More of a different type of road course. The other one, next to Slot Zuka, is really nice. And that's a fun track. I know Kevin Sharp from Racetrack Scenics, along with his son Casey Sharp. They do club race there. They do it every Thursday. I know Kevin goes there. I kind of turned them on to these guys, so it was me as a reference to say, hey, this guy is interested in going to your track. So if you're in North Carolina and you're on the Triad area and you live here and you want to get into a track, I could help you out with that. They're a really good group of guys. They're really talented at doing a lot of tuning and stuff. There's one guy in there named Rob Petrie, really good tuner. He sends his car. He's the one that does this thin tape that I asked Rob about because I noticed his cars had it, and I was thinking, where do you get that tape? So they helped me out with this. So again, I asked advice from other people. I'm not the lone expert. I just passed on my idea. So, but yeah, I don't club race. I only do Home Racing World proxies. That's my go-to place to go to. I like going there every year because it's a slot car mecca and a lot of history in that place. And anything about the slot car world, Harry's done it, and he's been involved in a lot of projects. That's why we have the USAC NASCARs from Carrera. Harry Wise is responsible for those cars. If it wasn't for him, we would not have no USAC NASCARs. They're actually called USAC cars. That's how they got around the NASCAR license, because the NASCAR race drivers went to race for USAC. So, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have any of those cars. So I mean, it's, you know, I'm a big supporter of home racing world and the people that I know. So, and I stand behind them because they make great products and they're good people. So, especially Oscar from Slot Invasion. He makes great guides, and he's got other stuff too for Carrera cars, urethane tires. He has for the Revo slots as well. If you want to go urethane, you can go the Group 2 cars or the bigger wheels for the other cars. He makes those tires as well. So, but the guides, I think they're spectacular. I really like his guides. And he makes axles and, you know, bearings if you want bearings and bushings. He's got all that stuff, so check out the website. And of course, Slot Car Corner has got all the scratch building stuff you need, the new chassis kits, and of course, Revo Slot Cars and all that. He's got all that stuff. So, and of course, Kevin from Racetrack Scenics, he does signage and, you know, scenery. That's what he's big on. The wood track part he wanted to do because he grew up in Michigan, and that's where a lot of the slot car scene stuff was at, and he's very innovative with building tracks. So that's why, you know, this was the prototype test track right here behind me. The tracks that he makes now are better than this one. They're a lot better, because we found the little mistakes we made here, and we were able to learn from that and improve on the product. And that's the whole idea when you do beta testing. That's what it is, a beta test track. This one is not as thick as those ones are. So, but anyways, thank you, Gary. I appreciate the comment. But anyways, guys, I don't mean to bore you. I hope you enjoyed the live. Again, I enjoy you guys always, you know, coming on. If you have any more questions before I leave, please tell me now, because I'm gonna get ready to grill my ribs, spend time with my wife, because I've been spending a little bit of time here all morning and a little bit of the afternoon, so I have to stop. So, otherwise, if there's any more questions, I'm going to sign off. And again, you